Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a draw with me while talking about the things that I am doing to keep myself calm during this high anxiety, stress-filled time with all of this coronavirus stuff going on and, quarantining and trying to stay healthy and all of these things. So initially, when I first did this piece, and I will have a card pop up here so you can check out what I'm talking about, but this was my first digital piece, and I really didn't know much, and I only worked on one layer. So I figured I would kind of revisit this since I haven't had any time to get into my office. So last night I just grabbed my iPad and I put on the Curse of Oak Island and just really wanted to play with this and turn this into like a magic mushroom fantasy piece, just because when the world is so crazy around you, sometimes you just need to go to another place. So that was the idea for this piece, and I wanted to turn them into those magical fairy tale mushrooms, and that's what I went with. So while I am drawing this, I am definitely going to be talking to you guys about what I'm doing to keep myself calm during this crazy time. Okay, so I feel like I should just kind of put this disclaimer in here right now. Fun fact about Kelly is that she is an introvert, and I mean a true introvert. I prefer to stay home. I really don't like to leave the house unless I have to, or there's something that I want to do, and it takes me a long time to get excited about outings. So I'm one of those people that makes plans and then has anxiety about it, and then one way or another, it ends up getting canceled or rescheduled. So that is my mindset. So the whole quarantine thing really hasn't affected my behavior per se. But social media and the news and all of the stuff that's going on, and, just the fear mongering, I guess you could call it, that's going on is just really starting to affect me mentally. And I just thought that I would share with you what I'm doing to kind of keep the craziness out of my life as much as I can. Okay, so the first thing that I'm doing is I'm not starting the day with the news. I'm discovering as this develops is that when I watch the news in the morning with my coffee, it stresses me out before the day has even begun. And that's just not how I want to start my day anymore. So I'm choosing to have my coffee with either a book or some kind of writing techniques, and if I'm awake enough at the time, a little bit of sketching. But I am definitely limiting my news exposure to, about 10 to 30 minutes in the evening after the day has gone by. So even if I had a good day and it's just a very small stressor, and then I switch to a program that I enjoy after watching the news for that short a period of time to kind of relieve my stress again. So that's the first thing I'm doing, is definitely not starting my day with the news at this point. So the second thing that I'm doing is me and my family are spending a lot of time outside. We're having bonfires when the weather permits it, and we have a Bluetooth speaker out there, and occasionally a couple cocktails if it's the evening, and we grill when we have the weather for it, and it's been a lot more relaxing to just be outside listening to the crackling of the fire and the music, the calming music that we're picking. I mean, it's not calm, but classic rock and very chill, happy music that we enjoy. And the kids are also enjoying it, and we're starting to think of all the things that we can do outside for yard work projects and stuff that we actually have the materials for. And it's just been really nice to get that nice fresh air, spend the day outside when the weather permits, and then we come in and we have dinner, and then we allow ourselves that little chunk of the news, and then we switch to something else just to stay nice and relaxed. So another thing that I'm doing to keep myself calm is listening to audiobooks. I have been listening to a lot of audiobooks lately, and it's really helpful to have that distraction in your ear while you're, trying to do something as simple as cooking dinner when you have all these people out panic shopping and like clearing the shelves and things like that, and you're trying to not worry about conserving food while you're actually cooking the meal. And it's been a nice relief to have someone telling you a really nice story while you're trying to distract yourself from things that you have no control over. Another thing that I'm finding some solace in is actually preferring to watch like Skillshare actually instead of YouTube and the regular TV programming, pardon my stuttering, just because in the Skillshare arena, there's no talk of the coronavirus right now, like in the classes. So it's a relief to just go in there and learn about something that you're interested in, and also not have that coronavirus being addressed in that course. So I'm finding that to be a really great relief as well. And speaking of classes, I also decided to buy Aaron Blaze's Procreate class because it was on sale. And I'm still having trouble doing all the things that I really want to learn how to do in Procreate. And he's just phenomenal at it. And, essentially when you're taking classes, you're basically just learning that artist's progress and process. And I really look up to him as an artist, and I'm really excited to actually get into that class and see how much I improve afterwards. Another thing that I'm doing is it's a little unorthodox at this point because it's hard to put these into action with the schools being closed and having a limited time to actually get work done in the office. But for some reason, when I'm in a situation to where I literally am having a hard time finding time to actually sit down and work, the ideas just keep popping up in my head. It's like, boom, idea. And it's just like, all I can do at this point is write them down. But at the end of the day, I really like to revisit those ideas and start planning the projects that I have to go along with it. And I'm really excited about them all, and I'm not going to give up on them just because things have changed at this point. It's just obviously going to take me longer to do the things that I want to do, and it's going to take me longer to finish my pieces, unfortunately. But there's a certain way I want to go about doing things, and there's a certain way I want this channel to go. So it's frustrating, but also exciting at the same time because there's so much stuff that goes into the planning of things. And another thing that I'm trying to do is get some stuff together to actually launch a Patreon, and I'd like that to be a project-based thing too. So it's like I said, it's really frustrating knowing that you don't have as much time as you used to have, but it's also a really cool challenge to see how much you can get done when things just are completely out of your control. Like the drive seems to actually drive you. So that has been very interesting in this aspect of things, especially because I am feeling a lot of stress with just being backed up from all the things that I'm backed up on. But it's still nice to know that even though I'm under pressure, I still have ideas and I still get really excited about ideas. So that is another thing that I'm looking forward to. So another thing I'm trying to implement into the days now that we're, level quarantine, I guess, is just exercise, whether or not it's yard work or a walk. I'm trying to dig out my yoga DVDs, and I feel like the yoga actually might be really, really good at this point in time, just because, when you're stressed, you tend to have body aches, and I feel like the yoga might help that out a little bit. So that is another thing that I'm trying to implement. It's a little harder than the rest of them just because there's only so many hours in a day, and, kids are demanding when they're home from school. For some reason, they constantly want to be in the fridge and constantly want to do things that you don't want them to do at that point. And it's a little frustrating, and it's going to take everybody some time to adjust. But I'm hoping at some point, you know, we can all do like a little exercise thing, whether it's just a walk around the block or, you know, running around the yard or jumping on the trampoline, just something to get the endorphins going so you have the happy hormones going on in your head. So another thing that I am finding really, really helpful at this point in time, and I know some people like to bash essential oils, and that's fine. But I tell you what, I have a lavender scent, and I also have one by doTERRA called Serenity. And having those in, I tell you what, even if you just want to open a bottle and sniff a little bit of lavender for a minute, it's so calming. And I'm finding that to be one of the most beneficial things at this time, is just to have that calm atmosphere. So I definitely think you should try essential oils, like in a diffuser if you can. If not, maybe like a lavender scented candle, something that you take comfort in. I don't know if it's vanilla, I don't know if it's lemon, whatever your scent is that keeps you calm, I highly recommend that you have that going on at this point in time, just to help with the anxiety. Yeah, and you know, the last thing that I'm doing to kind of keep my mind off things is naturally, you know, it's time for spring cleaning. It's time to go through all your stuff that you've collected over the years and dust off your ceiling fans and, you know, do all these things that we've been, you know, procrastinating on because winter. And, you know, it's probably my least favorite because it requires so much work. But, you know, I mean, there ain't really much else to do, so there ain't no point in, you know, wasting time and not, you know, when summer hits and this is all over and you want to go, you know, on your actual vacations or out on a boat or on a trip or fishing, you know, you have all your chore stuff done, like your gutters are cleaned out and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, obviously I'm going slow style and just doing a room at a time, you know, getting donation stuff ready, getting stuff out to the garbage that needs to the garbage, and then reusing and recycling stuff for other things if I can. I really am really trying to lower my waste, but you know, there's only so many things you can do with recycling things, so that's what Pinterest is for, so that's always fun. But anyway, yeah, those are everything that I'm doing to kind of keep myself sane in this crazy time. And I know it's really, really hard to try to stay grounded at this point in time, but just do your best, carry on, stay calm. I highly recommend the news tip if you don't do anything else. I definitely would limit your news time to 10-30 minutes, just enough to get caught up. And if social media is too much for you at this point, I highly recommend, you know, delete the Facebook app for a minute. Instagram isn't too bad. It's more, you know, image-based, and YouTube isn't that horrible either, but I do recommend the audiobooks and doing something that will actually get your mind off of it for the time being. I mean, we're all at least stuck at home for 2 to 3 weeks, so we might as well just make the best of what we have and go from there. All right, so I hope those tips helped you out. Hopefully what I'm doing can help you a little bit, if anything. If not, hopefully you liked the speed painting. I don't feel like it's important to just ramble at this point for the rest of this video, so I'm going to put on some nice calm music and let this play out for the rest of the video. And I'm thinking about you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will be seeing you very soon.
you.